Welcome to the Celeste Stacy Show. Celeste Stacy is your host. Celeste Stacy is an author of 4 novellas, SAI, Secret Agents of the Illuminati, books 1 through 3, and Tales of the Illuminati, Boxcar Willie. You can listen to her show on www.secretnarty.com/listen.
Welcome to another episode of the Celeste Stacy Show. I'm your host, Celeste Stacy. Alright, I'm just going to jump right into it, and I will just edit on the fly, or after. So, it's been a while. It's been a long New York minute since I've done an episode, and I apologize. I am now on second shift for my day job, and so there's that. Getting used to the new sleep cycle. Let me just talk about my day job. Before, I was spot welding, and I was getting burnt on a near daily basis, and I was running my ass off because my partner that was in my department was a slacker. And so I got offered another job in another department that or another job class, same department, pays more. So, and a lot less work, but I use a lot more math and geometry, so there's that. So, yeah, I gotta really think. But, you know what they say, work smarter, not harder, and that's what I'm doing. I'm working smarter, not harder, and, yeah. So, it is like 9:30 in the morning, and, I'm like into my second week on second. I like the money and that, and it's not too bad of work. And I mean, my morning stretch out, and so anyways, where I have been and doing is working, and yeah, that. I'm starting to formulate some new thoughts on my books. Not a whole lot there. I'm 50, almost 56 and a half. So I've been contemplating my retirement. I got less than 10 years. Maybe 10 years. My original plan was write my books, and I live on 6 acres. I built my own house, and my thought was, well, maybe I'll just do some farming with the 6 acres and make a little bit of money. And well, my soon-to-be ex decided otherwise, and yeah, January 2nd, she tells me, she's like, "Oh, we're divorced," and I'm like, "You fucking bitch! Why couldn't you told me this 6 months ago, 3 months ago, 2 months ago, before Christmas?" See, I went all out this year again on Christmas and spent about $3,000 on the boys and the grandkids. And had I known I financed it. And had I known that I was going to be getting divorced, I wouldn't have spent the money. So, yeah, unfreaking real. And, you know, in 35 years of marriage with my wife, she's been crazy from shortly after the honeymoon, her crazy side came out and stayed out. And why I didn't leave her then, 30 years ago, after the first 5 years was great. But after that, the crazy just came out and just never went away. I mean, she would actually change the rules of the marriage on a near daily basis, if not an hourly basis. And I had 3 kids I had 3 kids, and I couldn't. I was trapped. And you know, I talked to my dad about it, and my mom was, you know, I love my mom, God rest her soul, but she was a, sweet old lady and crazy too. And, my dad said, he's like, oh, you gotta do the right thing, you gotta stand by your wife, you gotta stand by your kids, and blah, blah, blah. And that was always nagging at me. I should have left. I should have left 30 fucking years ago. I don't know what to say about it. I mean, yeah, it's fucking unreal. So I have to sell the house. Well, first we have to get the house ready for sale, and that's going to be sometime later this year or next year before it goes on the market. I hope I can get $300,000 out of it. If I get $300,000 out of it, we only owe like $77,000, $76,000. If I get half of that after the mortgage, that's probably going to be $125,000 mine. And I gotta figure out what to do with it. When I realized that a 1-bedroom apartment is cheaper than owning a house and a lot less hassle, that's like, yeah, maybe I'll just rent for a while. But I'm going to need income in retirement now that I can't count on a spouse who's decided to go full crazy and yeah. One lie after the other out of her mouth. One broken promise after another. Folks, she decided, let's see, 5 years ago, maybe 7 years ago, she's going to be atheist. Because her boys decided that they're going to be atheists too, because they are lazy. They don't want to get up and go to church. So it's like, what, I grew up as, my grandfather was a Pentecostal minister, and we went to church on Sundays, and when we went and visited my dad's side of the family down in Kentucky, and it was like, we went to church. And it was like, I don't know. I don't know if there's something out there or not, but you know what? I've seen a lot of evil going on in the world, especially lately. So, you don't tell me there's no demons out there. I see demons on a fucking daily basis. People that are just flat out evil. And I'm not talking about your usual despots like Putin or the Iran Shulululu or the whatever the fucking the Hamas and the Palestinians. Fuck those people. They're all evil too. But yeah, there's just fucking everyday people, man. You just see the evil in their eyes, and it's like that's what's taking root in my soon-to-be ex. If you ever seen that TV series called Evil, there's a couple different levels of possession by demons, and I think my wife's probably going through a possession. I think a demon or an evil spirit has taken root in her, and it's just the evil I saw in people's eyes, I now see in her. I mean, I sleep in my own bedroom. I moved out of my bedroom because I could not get a decent night's sleep sharing a bed with her, because I would have night terrors. There's an evil spirit in my bedroom, my old in the master bedroom that my wife sleeps in, and it's like, when I moved out and I did a cleansing ritual with a sage stick in my bedroom, it's like I sleep now. I actually sleep. And you can't call it witchcraft because cleansing rituals are used by Catholic ministers and that. It's you know, you look it up in the Bible, it's like you look it up and it's like, yeah, it's like you want to ward off evil spirits, get out the fucking sage and sticks and start burning them. And it's like, get some, you know, natural stones, and, you know, put them around your bedroom, put them in your windowsills, and, you know, get a cross. Wear a gold chain with a cross. And it's like, it's not just, it's got to be a good quality. It's got to be 18, 24 karat gold chain. Not the plastic gold painted or zinc, whatever they use. It's like, anywho, I'm going off on a tangent. But yeah, so I gotta take care of myself. And I used to always dabble in the stock market years ago. And let's see, 2005 I was into it pretty good. It was sharebuilder.com back in the day. And I made some money. Not a lot, but I made some money. And you know, and it's like, and my wife was like, you know, she is, even then she was a control freak. If I had any little bit of money squirreled away, she would get furious. She would demand it, that I turn it over to her, and then she would promptly spend it. Any new credit card that she found out about, she would get furious, take it from me, and max it out. Every time. Every time. And it's just, you know, she's a fucking evil woman. Drinking coffee now today, folks. I am drinking Great Value brand K-Cup breakfast blend. That's about the best, for the cheapest for the bang for the buck, I guess you would call it. Anywho, so last summer there was this episode of hers. Her mom came to visit. I like her mom. And we spent the day in Fort Wayne shopping and going to this one place. It's called the Escape Zone. It was pretty fun. But anyways, Chris booked that in advance and paid for it. Well, we had a joint account then, and she used the joint account money to pay for it, which is, you know, all fine and dandy. And then when I went, afterwards we went for lunch, and we went to a moderately priced restaurant, and we spent, I'd say, 2 adults, 2 kids, or 2 sons, me, Chris, and her mom, and the bill came up. It was about $68 with a bottle of wine, and I was paying for it. Oh, I was told to pay for it. Because her mom got this big inheritance from her family, and she got this big shell of this money. And she was going to pay for lunch, and Chris is like, oh no, Mary's going to pay for it. Mary wants to pay for it. Well, Mary's my legal name. My Celeste Stacy name is my pen name. So anyways, she's like, no, I want to pay for it. And she goes, don't you, honey? Don't you? Taunting me. And I like, whatever. Give me the fucking bill. And I get the bill. And I'm writing it out. I'm writing down the tip, right? I had like $15 in cash, which I was going to leave. And then I was going to leave like, you know, another $7 on the check. So it was like, you know, $22 tip on $68, that's pretty good. No, that wasn't good enough. Chris took the receipt from me and read it out loud, and then they exclaimed how cheap I was being. And it's like, and then I got condemnation for my 2 sons, and the whole restaurant was staring at us and me. And her mom was just putting in these little snide remarks. You gotta pay the servers and the waitress. You gotta tip appropriately. And then Chris took the pen and wrote in a $30 tip. Yeah. And I knew right then and there that I had to leave this marriage. It's like I was pissed. I was beyond pissed. I almost got up, walked out, paid for just myself, and took an Uber home. I was pissed. I'm still pissed. Because it's my fault. According to her, it's my fucking fault. It's like, I work hard for my money, folks, and I'm not frivolous with my money. I try to save it, and I try to invest it. I try to grow it, because you only get $1, and well, what do you expect? Chris is a Democrat. That's where it is, folks. She's a fucking commie Democrat. I'm voting Republican this year. I'm voting against that. I'm voting against everything she stands for. I'm voting Trump. I'm voting for Republican up and down the ticket. She's pissed me off. She is a commie Democrat, and it's time to kick her to the curb. And it's like, since I've been on second for the last 2 weeks, I haven't seen her. And then, last Saturday I seen her, and she's like, oh, y'all happy to see me, and just blah, 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 blah. So anyway, she was happy to see me on Saturday, and she just all blah, 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 tell me about her week and that, and I barely got in a word edgewise, and I'm thinking, well, maybe she don't want a divorce. Maybe me going to second would be a good thing. And then the next day, it's like, fuck you. What do you want? Get the fuck away from me. And I'm like, what the fuck ever. Crazy. Crazy is as crazy does. So anyways, folks, that's what I've been dealing with lately. So, But actually, me being on second, I'm not busting my ass at work as hard as I used to. Yeah, let me tell you something. The spot weld department, oh my god, it's collapsed. It's imploding. It's going nowhere fast because let's say my partner, she got hurt falling down drunk in January at a bar. She, the steps and the rail was icy, and she slid down the steps, and instead of letting go and just taking the fall, she held on for dear life, and it fucked her rotator cuff muscle up. It tore one of them. And this is a week or two after she was moving heavy shit. She's just a little thing too. And she was moving heavy shit around the house cleaning, and then this happened. I want to feel sorry for her, but I can't help but think it's karma for her negative comments against me, stabbing me in the back after I took her underneath my wing and taught her everything about spot weld and how to be a functional and successful employee. Because before, she's a dysfunctional person. She really is. I don't know, she's a drama magnet or just whatever, I don't know, but I'm done with her. She pissed me off using hate speech in my regards. And so yeah. And then her new friend who bid on my job, she's She's a bag of 5 cats. Crazy. I mean, just fucking crazy. She's going to jail. I mean, she's a criminal. She has a DUI conviction hanging over her head in Indiana. She was not falling down drunk, crashing drunk after a bar, and she rear-ended a cop. That's like, how stupid can you be, folks? You fucking rear-ended a cop driving home from the bar. And you're like 42 years old. It's like, oh my God. I saw her mugshot in the latest thing. She started a fight with her boyfriend at work. Picked a fight with him, saying, you don't appreciate me enough. And then she fucking tears off out and makes it almost all the way down, makes it down to Franklin County. And she gets a DUI down there. And I was told she drinks like a man. And it's like, damn her. And she's a bag of 5 cats, crazy. There ain't no way around it. I mean, yeah, she go in jail. She got DUI out of it, and the word is she's gonna go serve a 10-day sentence in September down there in Franklin County. It's like, cheers to you, lady. Thanks for using hate speech in my regards and turning my former friend against me. It's like, this is what karma looks like. My coffee is getting cold. I'm going to pause it right here, and I'm going to go heat up my coffee. So as I was waiting on my coffee and nuking up my coffee, I couldn't help but wonder or remember. Our boys got us these Christmas gifts years back. It was a coffee mug warmer. You plug it in and you set on your desk. So anyways, I got one and she got one. And my desk when my desk was in the living room, was a catch-all for everything. She would just pile shit up, and then shit get knocked around on the floor, and it was my fault. It was always my fault. You need to clean your desk cleaner. It's like, you know what, Chris, I just spent all day Sunday cleaning that desk, and here it is Wednesday, and you piled new shit on top of it. Oh, shut up and just clean it. There's always, oh, shut up, just clean it. Oh, shut up. And it's like, yeah, you wind me up, and then you stand back and watch the fireworks, and then you call me crazy. That's gaslighting 101, folks. That's what narcissistic people do. They accuse you of what they're doing. Accuse, like, you know, she would often accuse me, started an argument, accused me of being a narcissist when she was the narcissist. And it's just flat out crazy. And here, I don't think, hold on a second, okay, doing more than one, multitasking. I don't think she wants a divorce. I think it's just more of her crazy. And it's like, I got a rude awakening for you, bitch. I am preparing papers. I am going to divorce your ass. I am going to fucking, because I'm done. I was preparing for farming. Let me back the story up. I was preparing for farming. I had like 200 chickens I bought last year. It's over $1,200. And I did almost all the work myself, and she would always want to butcher the meat birds. And I was just going to take the meat birds in and have them butchered. And she said, no, I'll do it. Because Ebel's is just, Ebel's the local butcher. They're just charging too much. And it's like, yeah, so what? It's cheaper. It's still cheaper than getting these birds in the store. And it's like, you know what you're eating. And it's like, anyways. She would, she would encroach into every aspect of my farming operation, and then criticize on how to do it, how I should do it this way, how I should do it that way. Oh, you're doing it wrong. It's like, girl, you don't even know what the fuck you're doing. You don't even know what you're talking about. You are not a farmer. See, I have members in the family on my dad's side that were farmers. They lived on farms down in Kentucky and that, and over by Perrysburg and Toledo. And it's like, you don't know a damn thing, girl. I do. I took FFA and BOAG, and I also spent my summers on farms. My friends had farms. I was baling hay and throwing hay and picking tobacco before the age of 12. So yeah, I know. You don't. You are just a city slicking commie Democrat. There, I said it. So anyways, her birthday's coming up June 5th, and I am going to serve her with papers. And yeah. So I'm done playing. I'm done. I'm getting off the crazy ride. Crazy ride's over. It's like, you know, you come to a point in your life when you hit a certain age, and you just want stability and peace and quiet. And I'm done. I don't even care anymore if my sons hate me for it. I'm done. They're going to take her side anyways. I've always been the bad guy, and there's nothing around it. So, yeah. I'll be the bad guy. Sure. You're going to make me the bad guy? I will play the bad guy to the hilt. And there's nothing I can do about it. Nothing I can say or do, except there's going to be a cost to this divorce. There's going to be an emotional, human cost, and it's going to be my absence, because I'm just going to pack up my shit and move, and no one's ever going to see or no one in the family is going to be able to find me, because I just changed my name. Well, I'm going to change it to Celeste. I'm going to change my legal name to my pen name, and it'll be Celeste Stacy through and through. And yeah, I'm going to focus on my writings and focus on living and restarting my life again at 56 and a half. Well, it'll be close. It'll be after I'm 57 year old. I turned 57 in December, so yeah, it'll probably be closer. Best case scenario, if we get the house fixed up and on the market before fall, which I doubt it, because if we want to get $300,000 for it, we need to build a two-car garage addition. If we want to get that kind of money, and we want a guaranteed sale, which, I've always been handy. I can do the work myself, and I got most of the lumber already. It's the foundation part I got to contract out, and then we got to replace the roof, and then I got to fix. Not really fix. The county they're redoing the ditches. And we've been getting a lot of flooding issues on our property because the ditch is not properly graded. And so they're on our road, 2 miles down the road, and they're coming this way. So once they get that done, then I can redo the driveway, fix the flooding issues, because all that flooding issues is going into our crawl space. And yeah. So you get that taken care of, and then build the addition, fix the roof, and we got to fix the hot tub. And it's like 15 years ago we didn't have any of these issues, and the house was immaculate. And it's like when I came out with my big surprise, and Chris was like, she's like, when the boys leave, I'm leaving, and blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay. And it's like. And then, after, my gender changed, and she's like, oh, we're soulmates. It's like, we'll be together forever. And then it's like 12 years ago, 12 years later, well, I tried I tried. I just don't love you no more. I'm not romantically interested in you. I tried. Bitch, you didn't try. When I cut off the money, that's when you decided that you wanted a divorce. Because I cut off the money. You're a gold digger. Yeah. Last summer, that tip thing at the restaurant was not the first incident at a restaurant. That was an ongoing thing. And every time we went south, I would lose $3,000 in expenses because I had to pay for everything on the trip. And it's like, I was chronically broke all the time with her, with a shared financial picture with her. The minute I opened up, my lawyer said, you need to open up a checking account, start putting your money in there, and protect yourself because she is going to bankrupt you. And I'm like, yeah, and it won't be the first time she bankrupted me. She's a fucking communist Democrat pig. It's mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. When it comes to her money, oh, I gotta save my money. But when it comes to, my money, oh, that's our money. It's like, no, it ain't anymore, bitch. Not anymore. The kids are grown, and I'm done. So yeah, it's just, how many times I have to say it? Crazy train with her. Anywho, I'll probably be doing more epic rants about this subject. It's just, 35 years, and it's like, crazy. Coffee. Anyways, back to the coffee. I had this electric coffee mug warmer that would sit on my desk, and she took it. I mean, she had one, and then she took mine. Because when I moved out of the master bedroom, she put a desk in the master bedroom, and then she has my coffee mug warmer on the nightstand on her side of the bed, and then she took her coffee mug warmer and put it on her desk. And I'm like, what the fuck? Well, you weren't using it. Well, no shit, I wasn't using it because I didn't know where it went. It was buried. It got buried on the desk in the living room, and then it got thrown in a bag and put in a box. And only you knew about it because you clean to destruction. Everything with her goes in a bag, garbage bag, or goes in a box and then goes out to the barn. It's like she's a freaking hoarder. And it's like, and then she buys this printer. She bought the last piece of shit, Epson printer. And she buys this new Canon printer for $100 at Walmart. It only prints black and white, no color. And it's toner. And she's like, well, it's color toner is expensive. I don't want to pay for color. And I'm like, well, I'm doing a spreadsheet and for my investments, and I need color. Well, you're going to have to go out and buy your own printer then. I'm like, you picked out the last printer. I gave you the money for it. You picked it out, and that was 10 years ago. And that one turned out to be garbage. And then you buy this one. It's only printing black and white. Well, I don't have much money. You didn't give me any money. And it's like, no shit, because I didn't know you was buying a printer. Had I known you was going to buy a printer for $100, I would have kicked in $100 and then said, get the color one. God damn. It's not rocket science. So I'm going to buy me my own printer, and it's going to be a quality printer, and it's going to be a printer that has a password on it, and she ain't going to be using it because whenever I do buy something, she has to use it. And it's like, yeah, I'm locking this shit up. Yeah. She got mad when when our son Taylor moved out of the house and bought his own place last year, 2 years ago, last year. And She repainted his room, and she had plans for it. And I just said, "Well, I'm gonna put a desk in there and move my computer setup into there because I need quiet, peace and quiet, so I can do my podcasting." It's just and Taylor's desk is big. So I took it from the corner in the living room, slid it into the hall, and down the hall, and into her bedroom. I made her help me. And I cleaned up the living room corner and turned that into a little sitting library. I put my a couple of shelving unit there and a bookcase and make it looking nice. And now the living room does not look so freaking cluttered and filthy. And she has nowhere to pile it up. So all her garbage, she piles it up on the dining room table that we never use anymore. And I got a solution for it. Every time she starts to pile shit up, I let it go for about a week, and then I get out the garbage bag, and it goes into the garbage bag, and then it goes into the garbage can and goes to the landfill, because I ain't keeping her shit anymore. I don't care what it is. It's going in there. I'll go through and I'll pick up everything that's mine, and then I just take my arm and shoot into the garbage bag. It's like, so far she hasn't caught on. She's like, "Where's such and such? Where's this? Where's that?" It's like, "I don't know, Chris. I'm not responsible for your shit anymore." So I keep track of it instead of just piling up somewhere to where it gets lost. Put it away. So anyways, it's just mind-boggling, the crazy that I've been living with for 35 years. And it's not just, Chris and her crazy. It's like, people, words can't describe, well, words can and will describe it when I put it on paper. I'm working on a book, my life story, and it's appropriately titled "In the Company of Harassment," because that's what it's been. I've always taken a reactionary stance in life, and from childhood until adulthood. Okay, childhood. Older brother, Norm. His big problem is he wanted to be an only child, but he had an older sister. And so those two get along great. And when the rest of us kids, there were 7 of us, when the rest of us kids came along, he didn't like that because he got pushed to the side. So I got picked on by him, and everything he did, he blamed on me. So from a young age, I got beat. I got spanked for stuff I didn't do. And then when I hit my teen years, it's like I started acting out. And it's like I was well justified in some of the shit I did. And yeah. But, in hindsight, when you look at it, in your 50s, look back on your younger years, it's like, maybe I should have been a little bit nicer. Maybe I shouldn't have been. So, but you know what? Shit rolls downhill, and I got dumped on, so I in turn dumped on my younger siblings. Well, my brother Don, me and him were pretty close in years, so we got along great. My younger brother Dan, I wish things were better between us, but they never will. He got turned into a religious extremist by my mom and my grandfather. Yeah, my mom, she was always looking for glory, and my grandfather was a Pentecostal minister, and my brother Dan had a habit of, he got a New Testament Bible, and he would carry it around. He'd always quote from it. He didn't know what he was quoting. He was just parroting. And, and then my mom one day said, "Oh yeah, Dan, your brother's going to be a minister. He's going to be a minister just like your grandfather, blah, blah, blah. Oh, won't that be wonderful? My place in heaven will be assured." And it's like, whatever, Mom. He's like, she's just, sweet old lady crazy. And there's all sorts of crazy. There's sweet old lady crazy, and then there's 5 cats in a bag crazy, and that's what I'm married to. And it's like, my cousin Kathy, she's like, when I first introduced Chris, and and after hanging out with her a while, Kathy's like, you shouldn't marry her. And I go, oh, you're telling me this now? We have one kid already together. It's like, what am I gonna do? If I don't marry her, Mom's threatening to put me in jail because she was 16 and I was 18, and it's like, yeah, I was trapped. Chris comes from a poor family, and I was trapped. And I had money. I always had money. I always worked. I had a paper out when I was 10 until I was 13, and then from then I did construction work. In the summers, I worked on the farms. I was a hard worker, and I always had a job. I was always making money. And it's like, yeah, I like to spend money. And it's like, I'm just glad that's all coming to an end and I can breathe easier. So anyways, back to the house. It's going on the market, and I'm going to get my half, and I'm going to take that chunk of money and I'm going to invest it in the stock market on drip stocks. And I've been, for the last about the month and a half, I've been building a portfolio. Got about 20 stocks. Excuse me, I got a tickle. Too much talking and not enough drinking water or coffee or whatever. Anyways, drip stocks. I have a nice portfolio put together, and if I take my share of the money and invest it in these stocks, combined with about $200 a week in my paycheck, I should be able to retire in under 10 years and make a decent living. If the books never sell, I should make a decent living on my dividends from my stocks. And let's see, with this new job, brake pressing, and that'll pay me about $80,000 a year, and then this will pay me $74,000 a year, I believe, or it's really weird. If I delay my retirement by another year, it was like 73,500 and some will jump to 84,000 a year. But here's the thing: do I really want to wait here, because I got my Social Security coming in that last year, and I got my pension that I can start drawing next year, and it's like, I was thinking about drawing my pension from my old job and then taking that money. It's not much. It'd be about $840 a month. And then take that money and buy stocks. So on top of the $200, well, if I get the credit cards paid off, I could take $400 a week, invest it in the market. That's about $20,000. And then if I take my $840 for my pension and invest it in the market, and this is while I'm all working, and put that in the market on the same stocks and grow my portfolio, I should be retired by the time I turn 65. And then 2 years after that, I'd be 67. I draw my Social Security, which would be like, I don't know, $1,500, maybe $1,200, because they want me to wait till I'm 70. But I think before they fucked with it, my full retirement age was 67. So I could just, retire age 65. So let's say I'm 56 and a half. It's like 8.5 years. So we'll just have to wait and see. And that's where I've been at, folks. I've been working, and I've been, so I have been developing the radio station concept, and I have some soundbite stuff, intros and outros for that. Maybe I'll put a clip of them in here. See what you think. Let me know what you think. And I have this new. It's a late night talk show. Well, it's a late night episode. It's called Mad R. That's Moco. Moco is my LLC. Moco Media is my LLC. So this would fall underneath that umbrella. And it's Mad R. Moco After Dark by Celeste Stacy, the host, me. So anyways, I'm thinking I got all these screenplays that I wrote. Probably a good 30 of them. And some of them are one-off, some of them are just a couple of pages, they're bits. So what I'm thinking of doing is hiring a local independent filmmaker and say, hey, I'll commission them. I want you to make these into, not a filmmaker, no, radio show. And I could very well turn them into a TV show too, I may do that, but not right away. I'm going to go with the narrator service. And if I put them in a book, publish that book on Amazon, then that opens me up to their Amazon Audible or audiobooks. And then I get their narrators. And then I can take those and then put them and then play them on on that new format, the radio station format for Mad R, which is Moco After Dark. And that show would be, like old radio broadcast style programming, followed by, late night adult talk show kind of thing, You remember Dr. Ruth Westheimer and her sex talk? I would go like that route and talk about, adult kind of things, not just necessarily dirty talk or sex talk, but it was like, what issues we face as adults every day of our lives. And so yeah. Oh, and with a lot amount of Democrat bashing, because the Democrats are a bunch of commie pigs. So anyways, I'm going to put a clip for the intro here, and then you can check it out and let me know what you think.
Welcome to My Other Choice Online. That's Mocall Radio Station, My Other Choice Online. Mocall airs as an internet radio station. My Other Choice Online. Mocall. That's Mocall Radio Station. You can listen to our broadcast via our website at mocallradio.com/listen. Mocall, My Other Choice Online Radio Station.
So I was mistaken. I even had to go on Fiverr and look it up. I was mistaken. It's the intro and outro is not for Mad R. Moco After Dark. It's just for Moco Radio Station, which is going to be the on Spotify. I have my podcast, which is called the Celeste Stacy Show, and then I ran into problems with doing episodes where I just play music. They said, "Oh, you can't do that. You can't do that. That's you gotta have this. You gotta have that." It's like, so I gotta grow my podcast into a radio station, internet-based radio station. So, Moco Radio Station is the over umbrella with the other podcast shows underneath it, like Mad R, Moco After Dark, and then Celeste Stacy Show. That'll be underneath. And I'm also developing a couple of other things, morning news show and, afternoon stuff, and I'm just, developing. So, it takes time. It takes research, Takes money. So, anyways, back to the stocks. Alright, so in about, see, after the house sells next year, I take that chunk of money and put it into the thing. And here's the thing, Chris was saying, she was, when I was telling her about this, it's like, it's like, told her, it's like, if you take your money, you take your half of the house and invest in the stock market, you will set up a nice retirement nest egg for yourself to where you can retire when you turn 67. And she's like, no. I gotta build my house. I gotta build my house first. And I'm like, I go, I'll worry about that later. She goes, but she goes, when the house sells, you're taking a non-capital gains taxable income and turn it into a taxable income, capital gains income. Because the house, if you buy a house and live in it for more than 3 or 5 years, you don't have to pay capital gains tax on it. And it cost us about $50,000 to build it, and 20 years ago, and now it's worth about $300,000. So, and I'm telling her, it's like, but it's a retirement nest egg you're setting up, and it's like, this is real. This is something you can leave the kids when we're gone. And she's like, no. And I'm like, don't you want to leave anything behind? Our kids and our grandkids, especially our granddaughters, they are going to need all the help they can get growing up in this country, the way things are going. And she don't care. I'm not going to be able to retire. And it's like, if you follow my financial blueprint for stocks, you will be able to retire. No, I won't be able to retire. My parents didn't leave me any money. And it's like, so that's your logic. You're not going to leave. You're not going to leave any money for your children or your grandkids. And I'm just like, I'm flabbergasted. It's all on me. It is literally all on me. So, and I told her, it's like, it's like if you invested in your money, this was before she dropped the bombshell of the building the house and not giving the kids anything. And I'm like, we should, give each of the boys $5,000. That's $2,500 of you. That's $2,500 of me. When we sell the house, and we take the money and invest it in the stocks. Take 1 year, in 3 years, we take one year's of dividends, which would be about $50,000. And we give each of the boys $5,000. That's $2,500. $7,500 out of our pocket leaves us the rest to do whatever the fuck we want. And she's like, no, I'm building my house. And then she said, it's like, maybe we'll cohabitate after the house sells because none of the boys want us to live with them. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm on second, so I never see you, but once or twice, 1 or 2 days a week on the weekends, and even then I could just, once we're divorced and finalized or legally separated, I just fucking disappear on the weekends. It's still cheaper. Right now, out of pocket, I'm paying for my half of the bills and the mortgage about $250 to $300 a week. And I make about $1,000 a week. So, yeah, that's quite a bit of money that I'm saving. So sure, I'll be fucking roommates with you crazy bitch, and it's like you'll never see me. And I will never talk to you, and I don't text you no more, and I don't call you at all. And it's like, so that's, anyways, I don't know. Since going to second, I got a lot more of my sanity back. So anyways, that was the intro for the radio station, Moco's radio station. I am going to have an intro and outro made for the Madar, Moco After Dark radio program soon. So, I think I'm going to end it here and get ready for work. So, have a good day And guys, keep in mind, nothing lasts forever. Take it from me, the 35-year marriage went up in smoke. Nothing lasts forever. All good things must come to an end, and you will always be the bad guy. When women are concerned, you guys are always going to be the bad guy. Always. It's just the way these women are wired nowadays. Fucking crazy. So, not all women, but there's a good chunk of women out there, especially the fascist communist Democrats. They will spend all their money, and then they will take all your money and blame you for it. So, hey, you get an epic rant in the closing comment. So he's like, whatever. Have a good day, folks. Be kind.
You've been listening to the Celeste Stacy Show. If you've enjoyed the show, please subscribe and tell your friends and family. All comments or suggestions can be emailed to the show via celestestacy67@gmail.com and also on Twitter at celestestacy67. Thanks for listening. You've been listening to MoCall, My Other Choice online radio broadcast. If you've enjoyed our programming, please subscribe and tell your friends and family. All comments or suggestions can be emailed to the station via mocallmedia@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.